Aloha, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, football fans across the state of Utah. Welcome to KSL Sports Rewind and our coverage of American Fork football presented by Heidemann & Associates. Tonight, from AF and from Cavemen Stadium, it's the Riverton Silverwolves traveling to the south to take on a Region 3 opponent in the American Fork Cavemen. But my broadcast partner, Gavin Atkinson, Alexander Timler, joining you from the top of the press box here at AF. All right, Gavin, turning to you, first thing I say is we got a pair of 1 and 2 teams going at it tonight. Riverton, of course, trying to find their footing. American Fork also trying to find their footing after coming out their first win of the season last week against West. What stands out to you about this matchup tonight?
Well, I'm going to start with the Cavemen. The Cavemen started the season 0-2 after playing Corner Canyon and Orem in their first 2 weeks. They got their first win against West last week, starting to look like the Cavemen team we've known from years past, winning 41-14. I'm really excited to see if they can figure out some consistency in this game. And then going to the other side, Riverton. Riverton coming off of a tough loss to Ridgeline, I believe. Correct? Yes, Ridgeline. Easily could have won that game, just came up short. Could have been 2-1 on this coming into this game. We'll see who can get even, who can reach 500 on the year.
So with that, we now turn our attention to the Heidemann Associates Keys to the Game, presented by the full-service law firm, committed fully to winning for you, the client. Gavin Atkinson, what is the key you're looking at for each side tonight to try and get to 500 on the season for both sides?
Now, starting with American Fork, they need to find a way to stay consistent. You know, they've gotten late starts on the offense, gotten going, or struggled to get going on offense. Scored 28 in the second half last week. Look for them to get started quicker in this game. And then when it comes to Riverton, they've got to be able to force some turnovers going up against this AF squad. And they've got to slow down the Cavemen offense. Going up against David Gaisford, who has thrown 12 touchdowns in these 3 games and only 3 picks. It's going to be a big ask. We'll see if they can do it.
Of course, before kickoff tonight, Gavin, obviously a lot of people around the country tuning in. We get a lot of viewers from, out of state watching these broadcasts. We want to send a shout out to the people at Appalachia High School down in Georgia, obviously reeling from that horrific shooting on Thursday, including their defensive coordinator who tragically lost his life, and an local NBC news producer that also died in that shooting. Gavin, it just shocks you, and it also hurts you to see that. To see that it takes place the day before a football game down in that part of the country.
And, I mean, the only word to describe it is tragic. Our hearts go out to them, and, just a loss for words. Senseless violence. The high school football community is out to them.
And we hope if there are people watching in that part of the country, if there are people watching in Appalachian County, Georgia, down that way, we hope you're tuning in, and we hope we can bring you some joy for at least the next couple of hours. Lewis Connect set to kick off for American Fork, and Riverton will get the kickoff to begin proceedings this evening. We're all set to go from AF. We hope you are as well. Settle back in and enjoy as we are underway, and Connect's kick, no surprise, goes right through the back of the end zone. And out to the 20-yard line comes this Riverton offense.
Now, this first drive for Riverton will really tell us a lot about what they're trying to do against AF. Andrew Nielsen coming in as their quarterback, going up against a pretty good Caveman defense. They've struggled at times this year, but coming off of a great performance against West last week, holding them to 14 points.
So Nielsen from the shotgun on 1st and 10 to throw. Throws, that pass is caught. 2 receivers were in the same area, but it was complete nonetheless. To the H-back on the formation, that is Luke Hogan.
Really effective route right there. Just go up for 9 yards on the curl route. AF was right there to make the tackle. Gets 9 yards, makes it second and short. We'll see what they do now. I expect a run with this power formation.
H-back in the formation. 5 will go into the pattern for the quarterback, Nielsen. It's a fly sweep to the far side and getting a block and a first down and then some and out of bounds. After a pickup of close to 12 is the Z receiver, Bennett Nelson. And that'll move the chains for the Wolves.
Bennett Nelson able to show off his speed there. He had some great blocking from his receivers on that far side. Able to get the chains moved and a new set of downs for Riverton.
Alexander Timolip, Gavin Atkinson here on the call for you tonight from American Fork. Josh Dodge operating the camera for us this evening. First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Christian to throw on first down. Throws a little seam pattern. That is complete. And making the catch and getting brought down inside American Fork territory is number 88 for the Riverton Silverwolves. That is the ex-receiver Seth Glover.
And love the touch on that pass from Andrew Nielsen. Gets it right over the zone coverage defender. Finds the nice little hole. Gets a good chunk of yards as we see Riverton starting to pile up some first downs.
5 wide receivers here for the quarterback Nielsen on first and 10 from the American 442. 5 men on the rush. Throw, that is complete. And getting tackled almost immediately on the play is number 9. Is number 9, Rocky Downs, who came in as the extra running back on the play. So Riverton moving the ball fairly efficiently, fairly quickly here out of this. I guess you could call it a spread offense. Officially listed on Deseret News as a pro-style attack, but the way they line up is in the spread formation. Second down, Christian throws, that is complete. Glover outside, cuts back to the middle, and then gets run over by the red shirts as he gets tackled on the play by American Fork strong safety Beckham Reese, and I'll bring up third down here for the Silverwolves.
Riverton just trying to get a little screen going right there, but AF just does a great job of swarming to the receiver, bringing him down, making it into 3rd and 5.
Christian remains the tailback, and as I say that, we have a penalty flag, and this will be our first penalty of the night. And that is an offside penalty, and a first down is the result for American Fork.
And that is one of the most frustrating things that can happen in football. You got the third down chance to get them off the field, and the offense is able to draw you offsides. AF struggling to stay disciplined on that play.
First down and 10 now for Riverton. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Christian remains the tailback. In motion goes Dane Slack. And it is a play action. Christian steps up into the pocket, and he goes down. Almost immediately, they were right on top of him. Caleb Huff, among others, with the sack.
That was a great job by AF, getting some pressure, only sending 4 guys. That linebacker just came through one of the holes that opened up. Nothing downfield. Beautiful defense being displayed on that play right there. Everything coming together.
Mitt Palmer also credited with half a sack there along with Huff on that last play. Second and long. 2nd and 16 now from the 37. Nielsen to throw. Nielsen drops, throws, passes deflected, and incomplete. Was intended to the near sideline for Slack. And it'll bring up 3rd and long. Huff got his hand on it.
And Andrew Nielsen might be taking a deep breath, a sigh of relief, as his receiver looked pretty covered right there. May have had a chance of getting a pick. And he also had some pressure coming right down the right side, his blind side. We'll see the 3rd and long here. See if they can pull off a miracle.
Play clock down to 10 here. Play clock now running inside of 5. Nielsen snaps it. Looking downfield. Looking. Throws the wheel route. Pass is caught. What a catch. Down the field. Bennett Nelson able to make the snag and get his feet in bounds, and it's 1st and 10 after a pickup of close to 30 on that play.
Love to see that quarterback-receiver chemistry as Nielsen is able to throw it right over the top of the defender, just inches above the defender. And then Nelson is able to bring that one down, get a foot in bounds over his shoulder. Difficult catch. Love to see it.
Playing on words, this is Nielsen to Nelson. This is Nielsen carrying it, and he takes it to the right side for about maybe 3 yards behind left guard. And so, Gavin, so far so good here on this opening drive for Riverton.
Yeah, they've really been able to make the plays they've needed, move the chains when they've had to. They've gotten to some really tough predicaments, 3rd and longs, but able to convert. Really excited to see if they can continue in the red zone. You know, as space gets less and less, it's hard to score.
Nielsen, hands off up the middle. First carry of the night for Christian. He gets into the stack. He'll pick up about maybe 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and call it about maybe 6 yards to go. Ball on the 9-yard line here for the Riverton offense.
Not much there as Riverton trying to get something up the middle, but that AF defensive line able to push back and get some penetration, only allowing the 2-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 6, I believe.
And meanwhile, Christian limping off the play. That's not a good sign, as we have another flag, as the referee actually tossed his beanbag before the flag. And I suspect it's coming back, and it is. So that'll make it 3rd and longer here for the Silverwolves.
Well, we'll see if Riverton changes their play call at all, as now they're looking at a 3rd and long. You know, still have the chance to get the 1st down before scoring. We'll see if they can do it again. They've converted on some 3rd downs earlier this drive, but this one will be tough as AF's looking at showing blitz.
They do show, they do come, and Christian has no chance. Rocked out on the play by Luke Broadbent, the Sam linebacker. And AF's defense able to hold Riverton to a field goal attempt.
Luke Broadbent kind of went untouched right there, able to get to the blind side of the quarterback. Nothing able to develop for the quarterback down the field, and we'll see the field goal team come on to try and get some points out of this drive.
Will Walker, #1 kicker in the state of Utah. You see, puts it right through, and Riverton has the first points of the ball game. They lead 3-0 with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left, as the American Fork Cavemen defense able to hold Riverton out of the end zone. But Riverton still up 3-0 as we begin proceedings this evening here in the Valley. Back we come into American Fork High School. Alexander Tim up alongside Gavin Atkinson as Will Walker kicks this one through the end zone, and in fact he boots it right off the bottom of the crossbar. And so, after all that, Gavin Atkinson, we get to see this AF offense go to work.
Really excited to see this AF offense and what they can produce here on this first drive. Maybe set the tone. We're going to see David Gaisford, who's really played well through the start of the season, and Cade Wilkinson, who's got 6 receiving touchdowns on the year. Kind of an underdog. Didn't expect this kid to be so good. Really shocking a lot of people.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, and it's a handoff going to the right side, and breaking a couple of tackles and getting almost 10 yards on the play is Prince Afu, the transfer from Timpanogos.
Prince Afu so far on the season with 15 carries, 53 yards. Love to see him get going, moving the chains on their first offensive snap.
Gaisford from the shotgun, and then it's a handoff. Prince Afu on 1st down and 10. And this time the white shirts get over to diagnose the play relatively quickly. Led on the play that time by the Mike linebacker, Pat Mati Miata.
Linebackers doing a great job right there for Riverton as AF's offense created some holes, able to plunge through those holes, plug them so the running back couldn't get anywhere. 2nd and 10.
Not much on that one there for Prince Afu. 2nd down and still 9.5. Gaisford to throw for the first time. Throws this one up into coverage for guess who? Kane Wilkinson, who makes a spectacular catch. Also 40-yard line.
And the confidence of David Gaisford to throw that ball as he had pressure coming from both sides. Able to put that one right where it needed to be. Thrown into double coverage. A great pass and a great catch. Moving the chains as they go onto the other side of the field.
Right over the top of JoJo G, one of the best corners for Riverton. Here's a handoff left side to Afu, and this time he goes nowhere. Still able to steamroll forward in the grasp of Exodus Afatassi, the big nose tackle.
Afu, great job making something out of nothing. You know, Riverton really was able to plug up anything there and able to get 2 where, you know, you'd expect him to go down at the line of scrimmage. Fighting for some extra yards. You love to see it.
Tailback Madden Jensen now relieves him. Gaisford from the shotgun. Triple wide receiver lines up in the right, to the right. Hand off to Jensen. Big hole left side. And Jensen is close to a first down. We'll see where they mark him. They're going to give him the first down at the 31-yard line. That's a 9-yard pickup and enough to move the sticks for the Cavemen.
Now, Madden Jensen has really been the workhorse quarterback for AF through this early part of the season. 39 carries up to this game, 169 yards, averaging just over 4 yards per carry. Moves the chain there. We'll see what AF can do now on threatening to get into the red zone.
About 11 yards out from the red zone, 1st and 10. Gaisford to throw. Throws for Wilkinson. This time better coverage. It doesn't matter! What a catch! He gets it, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We've seen it once in this game, and we'll see it again. Just some great chemistry between quarterback and receiver. You know, there's the saying, perfect offense beats perfect defense, as the corner was all over the receiver right there, making that play just about as impossible as it could be, and AF finds a way. 1st and goal.
Now look at this, the T formation with Prince Afu, the back. And the handoff is to Broadbent, right side. He is in. Touchdown, American Fork Cavemen.
Now that'll be Luke Broadbent's 3rd rushing touchdown on the year, as he has been American Fork's favorite on these red zone and short possessions. Able to punch it in, get the 6 points.
6-3 Cavemen, and now here comes Lewis Connect on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Connect's kick is up, and it is good. 7-3 American Fork. Right down the field on its first possession in just over 3 minutes. And they now have a 7-3 lead as we take a break across the network here on the Rewind Sports Network. Beautiful shot there by Josh Dodge of the Mount Timpanogos, Utah Temple. Alexander Tulip and Gavin Atkinson. American Fork right down the field in just over 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And they now lead 7-3 here over Riverton following a 1-yard touchdown run by Luke Broadbent, set up by a couple of spectacular catches by Kane Wilkinson. Connect kicks a line drive. It'll take a hop. Taken on the roll. Up the sideline comes Xander Thayer. Thayer, penalty flag goes down. He's knocked out of bounds. And where the yellow hankies are tossed at about the 17-yard line, I suspect this is going to be an illegal use of the hands penalty against the return team.
Yeah, very likely this one is coming back. I mean, you love to see the return. He had a big hole, but I think that hole was a product of some illegal things happening on the field.
Gavin, you just touched on it earlier. I want to go back to the point you just made about the electric passing offense. Kane Wilkinson, man, I mean, we said it. JoJo G had great coverage on number 2 the whole drive, but David Gaisford able to just make a better play.
And, I mean, you're just sitting here and it's beautiful. It's poetry in motion. It's exactly as a passing game should be run. You see the ball just right over the cornerback, and the receiver is able to make a fingertip grab. Love to see this passing attack.
Nielsen back to work, 1st and 10. Pass is caught. That's complete to Slack. And Slack gets over the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 11, close to 12 yards. That's a first down for Riverton.
Now, Riverton, so far in this game, they had a really good possession to start this game. Both teams scoring on their first possession. But Riverton kind of doing it in a different way. They took a lot more time, shorter passes, more running, whereas AF was a lot of chunk plays. But Riverton also able to convert some 3rd and longs to extend their drives.
Nielsen gets out of pressure, now throws up the right side. That pass is incomplete. It's ended on the play for Barnes.
That's going to be a win for Riverton, as that could have been much worse. The pressure from AF, has proven a lot to handle for this Riverton offensive line. Lucky that one wasn't a sack. And Andrew Nielsen able to break that sack, get the ball away. Almost got a completion right there.
Dallin Alfu with a big defensive tackle with the pressure there on Nielsen. Motion and the handoff goes to Christian Barnes on 2nd down, and he picks up about maybe 5 yards over left guard. And that will bring up 3rd down and another 3rd down here for the Silverwolves, 3rd and 6.
Now we'll see what Riverton does here. That 2nd and 10 makes it a 3rd and manageable. I would expect a pass with it being 6 yards, but a great job by Riverton's offensive line, especially the interior of the offensive line, to get a push, move some of those American Fork defensive linemen out of the way.
3rd down and 5 from the 24. 5 wide will go into the pattern. Blitzer coming up the middle. Christian gets out of one, gets away from another. Now rolls, now throws, and coming back for it and making the catch is Slack. And Slack is brought down out of bounds, but not before he picks up another first down to the 40-yard line. And I tell you, Gavin, the escapability of Andrew Nielsen on display right there.
That's a play that the defensive coordinator's just got to be tearing his hair out. You had a great blitz scheme drawn up, and you got 2 chances at getting the sack. But Andrew Nielsen does a great job of escaping the pressure and throwing an accurate ball to Slack.
From the pistol now. On 1st and 10, handoff to Christian. Big hole left side. And Christian is finally chopped down after a pickup of close to 10. Good block thrown on the play by Hogan, the H-back coming across the formation. Finally brought down by Gunnar Michaelis.
Making a 2nd and short. Expect a shot play right here. 2nd and short is often referred to as the shot play down. So we'll see what they do, as Riverton's been able to kind of have their way in these 2nd and shorts, 3rd and short.
From the pistol once again. Tailback is Christian. They give it to him, and he gets through the hole, stays upright, and he trundles his way for a first down to about the American Fork 47-yard line. Finally brought down on the play by Reese, among others, but not before he picked up the first down to move the sticks.
And Riverton just said, hey, let's get it done now. Let's get the first down, get a 1st and 10, new set of downs on their opponent's side of the 50. We'll see if they can continue this drive. Getting that new set of downs is really helping them.
Sun beginning to set behind Caveman Jim behind us. On the top of the press box from the offset shotgun now. Christian goes in motion to the right. 3 men this time on the rush, and it's a flare out to Christian from the backfield. And Christian is brought down. Good open field tackle by Beckham Reese.
Man, Beckham Reese really showing his speed and his play recognition, as that halfback looked like he was open. Looked like he had some grass to run through, but Beckham Reese just turns on the jets, makes the hit, and makes that play a gain of no yards.
Approaching 40 seconds left here in the quarter. Here at American Fork, Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson. Josh Dodge operating the camera from the offset shotgun. Here's Christian flanking the quarterback Nielsen. It's a tunnel screen out that way. Pass is caught. And not for a whole lot of yards, but a big hit out on the edge there. Delivered to number 13, Grant Mackey. And I suspect that will take us to the end of the first period. And it'll be 3rd and 5, and offensive coordinator Brian Anderson will, I don't think, run a play, but he might try to run at least one to try to draw the Cavemen offside, but he will not. Clock runs out here in the first quarter. Good first quarter, entertaining on both sides to say the least. Back after this word from Nutricost. American Fork leads 7-3 here on the Rewind Sports Network. Next Friday, the Rewind Sports Network is heading back to Draper. Join us for the game of the week as Mason Starkweather and the Manti Templars face off against Hayden Mazinin and the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Join yours truly, Gavin Atkinson, myself, Alexander Timolip, on the call starting at 7 p.m. next week, Friday, on your home for the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week presented by UCCU, the Rewind Sports Network on KSL Sports.com. Meanwhile, Gavin and I are here enjoying this one. American Fork leading 7-3 at the beginning of the second quarter. Riverton scored on its opening possession. American Fork likewise scored on its opening possession, and so Riverton looking to make it 2 for 2. And Christian, and now it's Nielsen to throw, and Nielsen gets swallowed up in the back. No, wait, he's still up. I thought he was down. He wasn't. Now throws on the field, and the pass is incomplete. Oh, I thought he was in the grasp. But he somehow got out of that mosh pit and somehow found slack down the field.
Man, that was crazy. I had thought he was down, looking down at my spotting board to figure out who got the sack. And the play's still going. Great job by AF to stay with it, though. Force that incompletion.
That's Johnny Manziel-esque right there against Alabama 2012. I almost pulled a Vern Lundquist and said, got him. No, they didn't. But then again, what do I know? Obvious 4-down territory here for Riverton. They're going to go for it. And we have a flag before proceedings happen. We'll see who this is against. And it is a delay of game against Riverton. They took too long to get the snap off, and so it's going to be 4th and longer here.
Now, I believe we'll see the punt team come out.
Yes.
I was just about to say, on the 4th and 5, we haven't seen a punt yet, and it doesn't look like we'll see one here, but that delay of game changes the play call for Riverton.
It'll be Will Walker to punt it away, see if he can get this down inside the 10. It's a sidewinder off his foot. Wilkinson going to let this one go. It's going to die and bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Sorry, Gavin. I was gonna ask you first of all before we get back to this possession here for AF. Riverton able to move the ball down the field against this AF defense fairly impressively. So the first couple of possessions.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job through the run game, finding some holes. And then also, you've seen a lot of screens. They've been relying on their receivers to make some yards after catch and extend these short throws. Two different offenses, very different, going at it. We'll see which one controls the rest of the game.
Gase for its first pass is caught. Complete that time to the H-back. So the H-back who was lined up in the formation for American Fork. That's number 7. That's Will Mine. And that's enough for a first down to the 30.
And AF just really moving the ball with ease on this Riverton defense right now. We'll see what adjustments are being made, if any, as they got the 4 linemen and the 4-2-5, I believe.
Here is a handoff right side to Afu, cutting it back, penalty flag down. As he finally gets brought down by a whole host of red shirts. And again, where the yellow hankies are tossed, I suspect this is coming back. be the 4th penalty of the game total called so far. And it'll be the 2nd penalty of the game called on American Fork. 2 have been called on Riverton.
And nothing sucks away momentum more than your own mistakes. You know, just shooting yourself in the foot, making a 1st and 10, a 1st and 20. Now you've got to do double of what you had to do before. It's a really great way to give the defense a 3 and out. We'll see if Riverton can take advantage of that fact as they've struggled throughout this game.
1st and 20 now. Gaisford, 4 men on the rush, throws down the middle into double coverage. And the pass is incomplete. Tended over the middle that time for the H-back / wide receiver coming out of the backfield, David Dean, who stands 6'5".
And that's what happens when you get pushed back so far behind the sticks. That defensive line for Riverton just able to pin their ears back, come at you with all their might. And David Gaisford just had to get rid of that one before he was sacked.
And now we have a penalty flag down, and I believe we're going to have an equipment violation as our White Hats walking over to the H-back Dyson Richards, and now it's going to be 2nd and Santaquin. So that's going to make it 2nd and 30 from the 10. Not the first time we've seen that called this week. We had a couple of them called last night in the Uinta Spanish Fork game. Then we had a couple called in last week's games as well. So Aaron Bean coming out to talk to our official and think about the...
Probably just get the specifics of, what was wrong. Make sure his players don't have anything else, any other players have that same issue going on. But making it 2nd and 30, this drive never count out, a big play, but man, it makes it really tough, and you start thinking maybe this is just trying to get a little closer for the punt.
And now we're going to have another penalty warning assessed to Riverton here as Ben Vakauta is chased off the field for an equipment problem. So Tonga Tafisi will have to come in and take his place. Now we can start playing. 2nd and Santaquin from the 10. They show blitz back out. Gaisford gets rid of it. Pass is caught by Mine. And Mine is lifted up and it's suplexed to the turf. At about the 15-yard line, it's going to make it 3rd and Santaquin here for the American Fork offense.
Great job by Riverton just swarming to the ball. AF wanted to get a big chunk play easily, kind of cheat Riverton out of that chunk play by throwing that screen. And it looked like he had some room if he had followed his blockers a little better, maybe gotten downfield. But Riverton does a great job of swarming to the receiver, getting him down, and a gain of very little, almost negligible, as we look at this 3rd and forever.
3rd down, Josh Holt looks like he's bringing the house. They drop out and bring only 4. Gaisford hit as he throws up the sideline and is caught by Wilkinson, but he's going to be short of the 1st down by a couple of yards. And let's see what offensive coordinator Michael Hunsaker and head coach Aaron Bean decide to do. It looks like they're going to try to jump Riverton here on 4th and short.
It was a great job by Gaisford standing in that pocket. He took a hit after he delivered that throw, but it was a strike. Looks like they're just trying to maybe draw him off sides. Maybe the play call's coming in now.
Well, we'll see. 4th and 2, and they are going to snap it. It's Afu left side, and he ain't going to get it. Ben Vakauta with the stop, and the Riverton Silverwolves are able to turn back the AF Cavemen. Great stop by Josh Holt's defense.
Now that is a play that just is a momentum shifter. The air in this stadium has changed. As AF, they go with the gutsy call, trying to extend their drive, don't want to punt it yet. But now Riverton's got it on the other side of the field position. Great field position. We'll see if they can do something with it.
Christian, little shovel pass to Hogan. That goes nowhere. The AF defense not fooled at all by that.
Man, lucky we didn't see that one pop out or bounce off any hands as AF was all over that shovel option. Brings up a 2nd and 12 for this Riverton offense.
American Fork's defense being put to the test here in this one a little early on. Alexander Timolip, Gavin Atkinson, the voices you're hearing here on the Rewind Sports Network. Christian goes in motion, low snap. Nielsen, long throw, wide open and making the catch for a first down. Wide open on the play, number 88, that's Glover. And just like that, look at this, the Silverwolves inside the red zone.
Andrew Nielsen does a great job of finding the hole in the cover 3 zone. You had the 3 high safeties, trying to prevent, or the 3 high backs trying to prevent a big shot, able to find the hole.
Now here's another shot into the end zone, a pass incomplete, and here comes the laundry sale. Pass was intended on the play for Slack, but he was being blanketed by Race. And it's going to put the ball, I believe, inside the 10-yard line. So Riverton hanging around, give them credit here in the early going with this AF team, as we have the official call pass interference against the Cavemen.
And AF is going to be, really frustrated with that call, as it was covered up really well, but you saw both officials throw the flag. It was on the far side of the field. I didn't see exactly what happened, but you can imagine some tugging on the jersey, something inhibiting or getting in the way of the receiver of making that play. Brings up 1st and goal from the 8, I believe.
1st and goal from the 9. Nielsen, plenty of time, throws high. And incomplete, intended for Glover. And actually, it's not 1st and goal, Gavin. It's 1st and 3 from the 9-yard line. But now it's 2nd and 3. So,
there you go.
So now we got that straightened out. But anyway.
Man, I forgot my contacts. No, not really. But, man, Nielsen's really going to want that one back. If he could put that one a little lower, he could have had a touchdown right there. We'll see, 2nd and 3 coming up. I expect to run because that's what they've been doing all night. But we'll see.
2nd and 3 from the 9. And it is a play action and a throw into the end zone. Incomplete over the head, this time a Slack. Well covered on the RPO. That's going to bring up 3rd and goal, or rather 3rd and 3 from the 9-yard line here for Riverton, as we have a timeout called by the Silverwolves. So they'll talk it over. And we'll take a break and we'll be back. Riverton threatening inside the 5-yard line. They trail 7-3, looking to cut into this deficit. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of American Fork football. Alexander Timolip alongside Gavin Atkinson. On 3rd down and 3 here from the 9-yard line for the Riverton Silverwolves, as they're looking to punch this in and take the lead here midway through the 2nd quarter.
AF's got just about everybody stacked in the box, trying to prevent a run.
And it's a run anyway. Christian gonna get brought down. They read it and they were ready for it. Good play that time by the nose tackle, Dallin Afu. And it holds Riverton to a field goal attempt once again.
Loving these neon green shoes Riverton's rocking. I've seen multiple guys rocking them out on the field. Great compliments. Makes it easy to tell which player's which.
And Walker's kick is blocked. Blocked on the play by, I believe it was Michaelis. Afu came up with it. And for all of that, American Fork's defense does hold strong.
Just a few minutes ago, I was talking about a Riverton momentum shift as they got that turnover on downs. AF comes up with a clutch field goal block. And once again, momentum has just shifted in the stadium. We'll see what AF can do with it as they start on their own 20, inside their own 20. Got quite the length to go, but we know they can do it.
And Luke Hogan was in the area, the H-back. He could have picked that up and run with it. And that would have been a first down inside the 5 as Afu gets the handoff going over left guard.
And Afu just, keeps those legs churning. He takes a couple hits, just keeps going, gets a gain more than you would expect. Gain of 5, I believe, right there. 4 or 5. Makes his second down a lot easier. Opens up the playbook.
Sun beginning to glint off the Wasatch Front here this evening. There is a sweep to the near side to Afu. They string it out, does Riverton, and he gets plastered at about the 27-yard line, but not before he picks up another 5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and a yard.
Afu able to show off some of his speed, running a lot more than 4 yards, even though it's just a gain of 4 yards. Just trying to outrun those defenders. Brings up the 3rd and 1. We'll see what they do if they stick true to that run with Afu, or maybe a quick little bubble screen up to the top of your screen.
Brought down on the play by Gage Zulo, Dylan's brother. And it is a handoff to Afu on 3rd down, and he gets it. And that's actually Madden Jensen with the carry and a 1st down to the 30.
And this American Fork offense really does run by committee, as Madden Jensen gets the bulk of the carries, as I kind of touched on a little earlier, but all of them are really able to do their jobs well and open this playbook for this coordinator.
Offensive coordinator Michael Hunsaker under head coach Aaron Bean. Gaisford now to throw. Pressure coming. He gets rid of it, throws it up the sideline. It is caught. That's Mine. Coming back at the 30 and finally brought down from behind at the 25-yard line. It looked like the ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but it didn't matter.
You've got to be kidding me, Riverton able to get some pressure, almost swats that ball down at the line of scrimmage, but AF able to find a way.
Now it's Jensen up the middle for about 8 yards. And in this first half, by air, that is now 4 plays of over 20 yards for David Gaisford. He has 3 of them to Wilkinson, and now 1 to Will Mine. 2nd and 2 now from the 18. Jensen again the handoff into the stack, and he will get the 1st down after a pickup of about maybe 3.
It wasn't a lot on that run, but it was just enough. You moved the chains, and your interior offensive line did just enough.
Down to the 14-yard line now, 1st and 10 for American Fork, trying to swing the momentum right back to their side. Afu is the tailback next to Gaisford. Triple wide receiver lines up to the left. And Gaisford to throw, spy on it, throws, end zone, and it's incomplete. It's headed for Wilkinson, and this time the laundry does come out. It was Coleman Garn who had the pick 6 last week against Brighton, covering Wilkinson, but Garn didn't turn around for the football.
Exactly. That's why that flag was thrown. He wasn't able to get that head around, make a play on the ball. He made a play on the receiver rather than the ball.
Would have been Wilkinson's 4th catch of the game. He's already over 100 yards. He has 3 catches, officially 3 catches, but unofficially by our count, he has over 110 and 15 yards of receiving yards, and we still have all 4:26 to play. Taking a while to sort out this penalty. We suspect it's going to be pass interference against Garn, and it is. So it will be 1st and short now for the Cavemen, and now we actually had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty assessed after the fact on Garn for letting the official hear it. Now head coach James Freeland coming out and making sure that nothing else transpires. So 1st and goal on the 4 now. Afu in the backfield. Triple wide receiver, or rather double wide receiver to the left. H-back lines up to the right. Single wide to the right. Gaisford to throw. Blitz coming. Gaisford hit as he throws to the end zone, and it is in and out of the hands. And actually knocked away that time by JoJo G. Intended on the play for Cash Taese.
Man, that would have been one of the greatest catches I've seen in high school football. You know, he got that foot down, just unable to secure the ball. Great job by the corner, you know, knocking that ball out. Brings up second and
second and goal for the 3.
Thank you.
Mine lines up to the left. Wilkinson to the right. Play action. Throw for Wilkinson. And that is overthrown, incomplete. Garn covering again on the play. And it'll bring up another third down. Third down and goal as Riverton trying to hold this American Fork offense out of the end zone.
AF kind of fallen in love with that corner fade as they've thrown it to that corner. You know, all of these last 3 plays. You know, that first time they got bailed out with that PI, but it was overthrown. We'll see what they can do on this third and goal.
Play action. And a sprint out. Gaisford throw is incomplete over the head of Dyson Richards. And that brings up fourth down, and here comes Lewis Connect.
Very interesting set of play calls right there. You know, with the way you've been running the ball through this game, I would expect a little more balance in the red zone and maybe even just try and power it through Riverton's defensive front. But they go the opposite route, trying to find it through the air, brings on the field goal as it was unsuccessful. We'll see if they can take a 7-point lead.
Connect does give them a 7-point lead. And that makes it 10-3 American Fork as the UVU soccer commit knocks it through. And that makes it 10-3, and worth the time and the score being where it is. We'll just keep it here and remind you, the Rewind Sports Network. Join us next week for more high school football. Next Friday, we'll be at Alta and West, a rematch of one of the best games of the year last season, as Blake Burdett looks to continue the success against Junior Solovi. Tune in next Friday night with Matt Coleman, Moose Bingham on the call, 7 p.m. for your home of West and Alta football, the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com.
Now, I can't tell you, Alex, I can't wait to see him play for UVU. Kyle Beckerman, they've got something going down on the west side of Orem, lake side of Orem. Undefeated so far this year.
Yes, they are.
3-0-1.
4 games without a defeat so far for the Utah Valley University soccer program. Of course, we'll talk more about Lewis Connect after this kickoff. He'll be joining a pretty loaded roster led by one Trevor Walk, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year 21-22 at Harriman High School. Of course, scored the winning goal in the 6A state championship. Connect kicks off a shorty, and this one is going to bounce on the goal line and into the end zone for a touchback. More on actually Connect. I actually got a chance to talk with him before the game, Gavin. You know, the offers that Connect had on the table, you know, he not only had offers from the local schools, from Utah Tech, Utah Valley, and what the like, he also had offers on the table from Cal Poly, UC Santa Barbara, and UC Davis, among others. Now, those are not slouch schools. Those are some powers in men's soccer.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, as we get to see some play going again, I wonder how much that new facility UVU is building, the UCCU Stadium, played into that, as it will be finished, you know, hopefully by the time he plays for the Wolverines.
Still undecided. I didn't get a chance to ask him if he was going to serve a mission or not. Pass is caught out on the flat, and getting brought down immediately on the play is the wide receiver, Grant Mackey. And so with 4 minutes to go here, Gavin, 2 timeouts left for Riverton. They could still run their offense as normal, and they could still punch it in the end zone, and we could still have a tie game here before halftime.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, I did a double take at the scoreboard. I can't believe how fast this half has run. I mean, we've only had the one punt. Both of these teams' offenses are really doing what they need to, other than a few miscues.
Here's a screen out to Christian right side, gets a couple of blocks, and he gets the first down to about the 31-yard line, and so Riverton moves the sticks again. And the clock continues to run. And Gavin, you're right. I mean, we started this game about 7 o'clock, folks. It is only 7:50. And it is still pretty light out here. The lights have still not taken effect yet. We've only had one touchdown in this entire game, and that was the touchdown run by Luke Broadbent. 5 wide into the pattern here for Nielsen. He drops the pass. Good protection. Lofts it into coverage, and good defensive work by Mackey to knock it away from Becker Michaelis.
Man, and that's the type of play where, the quarterback didn't get enough oomph on that throw. Roles were reversed as a great defensive swat coming from the Riverton receiver.
Gunnar Michaelis back there in coverage. 5 wide again into the pattern. 2 minutes and 54 seconds left first half. 10-3. Pass is caught. That's Downs. Breaks a tackle. Gets to the sideline. Still on his feet. He's still going. Churning the legs forward, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 26, and that's another first down for Riverton.
And those last 2 plays really have described Riverton's passing attack. The deep ball hasn't really worked for them, but those short passes and the receiver's ability to run after the catch has really kept them in this game. Really impressed by their receiver's ability to run and break tackles.
It's almost like watching the 49ers offense. These yards after the catch. 1st and 10 from the 42. Here's Nielsen to throw. Throws. That pass is almost picked. Threw it over the head of his intended receiver, Bennett Nielsen, and lucky that wasn't picked off by a hard charging Beckham Reese.
And Alex, speaking of NFL football, we finally reached the start of NFL football, which signals the start of football season officially. High school's been going for a couple weeks, college's been going.
Nielsen sacked again. That's the 3rd sack of the ball game for AF. A coverage sack that time. It is Huff, among others. And speaking of NFL football, I think that's what the Niners are probably going to be doing to a lot of opponents this year defensively.
Great defensive front for the Niners this year.
Anyway,
really, AF has looked great defensively. Really loved watching them play. Been a handful for Riverton all night with the 3 sacks, a couple hurries. Riverton's gotten lucky on a couple plays that could have been interceptions. Really impressed by this AF defense.
Timeout call by AF is their first of the half with 2:08 left here in the second quarter. Gavin, I want to touch on this for a second because AF is going to get the football to start the second half. So how important is it here for American Fork to get a stop so they can go down the field and potentially get one more score before the half?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, you'll hear many NFL coaches talk about getting a 2-for-1, right? You kick the ball off to start the game for the chance to get that 2-for-1, because this game could go from being a 7-point game to a 21-point game incredibly fast.
But again, credit the Riverton Silverwolves for hanging around here in this first half. 3rd down and 17. Nielsen to throws a little. That's complete. And getting the first down is Nielsen. No penalty flags down, and with 2 minutes to go, Riverton has it at the AF 25. They needed 17, and instead they pick up 21.
Now, Brian Anderson, coordinator of Riverton, took that one personally when we were talking about, AF hypothetically getting a stop.
Yeah, he must have heard us.
Made sure his offense was able to convert.
Nielsen now steps out of the pocket, and he gets some yards this time, but there's a flag down, and I suspect
I believe that one's holding.
This one
that
is coming back.
Pretty clear on that left guard, I believe.
Yeah, Tommy Pazos, the left guard, I think is going to get called for the hold. As this Riverton front really having a bear of a time handling this American Fork defense, which is being coordinated beautifully right now by defensive coordinator Chris Busing. 1 minute, 49 seconds and rolling here in the first half. 10-3, American Fork. And Riverton threatening to put points on the board at least before half. First and 20 now from the 35. Nielsen, 3 men on the rush this time. Pass caught. That is Slack. Slack breaks a tackle and gets most of the yards back, plus a couple more before he's rolled out of bounds. Gets up a little slowly before doing so. It'll be second and manageable. 8 yards to go here for the Silverwolves.
And that is a coordinator's dream, Alex. It's when you get a receiver who cares just as much about blocking down the field as receiving and getting catches. A receiver down there able to get a good block, open up that yard after catch for his receiving buddy.
Nielsen completes it to Bennett Nielsen this time, and he gets it down inside the 5. Man down for American Fork and hurt with 57 seconds remaining. That's Beckham Reese, I believe. Actually, check that. For American Fork, that's not Beckham Reese. That's Bishop. That is Bishop. That's Ocean Bishop, who is down at the 3-yard line. And so it's going to be first and goal from the 2-yard line, as we have an injury timeout here in American Fork, Utah. Riverton threatening to tie the game before halftime, hanging around tonight here with the big boys. Ocean Bishop up walking under his own power. That's a good sign to see as we come back in. Alexander Tibub alongside Gavin Atkinson. Gavin, I turn to you now. Here we are, Riverton on the 2-yard line, and I have to tell you, this has been a very, very impressive showing here in the first half by the Silverwolves team.
Yeah, you know, you never come into a football game counting out a team, but I came into this game expecting AF to run what they're going to run, you know, kind of bully Riverton on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and Riverton has just proven me wrong, and I'm loving it as it's providing for a great game. You know, there's this saying, football isn't played on paper, and it is at full display right here.
So Riverton going to take their time with 2 timeouts left. They're just going to drain this clock all the way down to make sure AF doesn't have any time to run their play. Now they come out in the offset I formation. Christian dots the offset I from the 2-yard line. It's a sneak as they just try to shove Nielsen over the line. Did they get him over? No, they didn't. He's close, though. He is just short. Clock still running with 18 seconds to go. And now the clock stops with 17 seconds officially here inside the stadium. And a timeout is called by Riverton. So, Kevin, how about that? Riverton trying to go with the little, well, I'm not going to say it because that's reserved for Eagles fans, but I'm going to go and say they went with the brotherly shove on the goal line there.
Man, and you know, it kind of was stopped at first, halted pretty early on, but that second wind from this Riverton offensive line, you know, I thought pushed him over, but maybe, you know, lost his footing, went down a little short, makes it, you know, inches to the goal line. We'll see if they run it back. I would if I was coordinator, but I'm just some dumb broadcaster.
Well, I think Brian Anderson might have been listening to us so far. So it's 17 seconds to go. We're about to find out if they're going to run the brotherly shove again, and they come out in the exact same formation.
Even at this high school level, these coaches have forgotten more about football than I will ever know. So I trust in the coordinators and the coaches.
You see head coach Jim Freeland wandering the sideline down near that dawn marker. 17 seconds left. Nielsen, this time, stopped at the goal line again. Tried to fall forward, but got stopped again, and Riverton is going to be forced to use that last timeout with 13 seconds remaining here in the first half.
I believe that was Jacob Nelson on the defense doing a one-man effort to pull him back. You know, great job of getting through the line and just using all your might, all your strength to pull him back, keep him from reaching that goal line. All it takes is a tip of the football for it to be a touchdown, and the fact he was able to stop that speaks volumes.
So, Gavin, this is going to be a really interesting call because with 14 seconds left and 3rd down and goal on the 1, throw it, or do you potentially try to run it in again? Because if you get tackled in bounds, the half is over.
Yes, the half runs out. I'm doing a little bit of either a quarterback dive or a halfback dive. Try and get above that defensive and offensive line. Stretch out that ball. It's a risky play, but if you can break that goal line, Riverton will have a touchdown.
So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 1. And Nielsen to throw to the end zone. They do get the touchdown. And it is complete to the ex-receiver Slack. And we are an extra point away from a tie game with 10 seconds left in the first half.
Riverton does an excellent job of just catching AF napping. I assume AF was expecting that run. That corner didn't see the pass coming. Really easy pitch and catch right there for Riverton.
So Will Walker now for the extra point. Remember, he had one block. He had the field goal block last time. Better snap, better hold. And the 5-star kicker puts it right through. And Gavin, look at this. I mean, it is 10-10 with 10 seconds left here in the first half. I mean, wow. What a first half for Riverton.
What a first half for Riverton indeed. They've done a great job of slowing down this AF offense. Doing what they've had to, making sure they stay within striking distance, and then just let that very slow and methodical offense do its thing. They're not going to throw the ball over your head. They're not going to blow the top off the defense. But they will run it through you, both through the passing game and through the run game. Really impressed by Riverton's offense throughout this first half.
So Will Walker will kick off with 10 seconds left here in the first half. So Riverton and American Fork both scored on their opening drives of the game. Both teams traded stops. And then Riverton did the old 7 for 3. And we are in a 10-10 game here with 10 seconds left of the first half off a touchdown pass from Andrew Nielsen to Dane Slack.
Now, I'm very curious to see what will happen in this final, 10 seconds. This isn't throwaway time with this American Fork offense. If they get a good return, they could easily blow off the top of this offense. I'm sure Riverton will be trying to prevent that, but not just throwaway time.
And Walker squibs it along the ground, taken on the run by Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets over the 30. And he gets to about the 40-yard line, and with 2 seconds to go, it's hard to see American Fork running a play here.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, at this point, 10-10, going to halftime, basically starting a new game when you come back. Make your adjustments, and it's what I love to see. We'll see a little coaching battle in the second half. Who can make the better adjustments? Who can figure out the other team first?
And that is going to be the question. As Gaisford takes a knee, the final seconds run off the clock of this first half. And at the end of 24 minutes, it is all square between American Fork and Riverton. Wow, Gavin Atkinson, I turn to you now for your thoughts on that first half. That was a pretty impressive performance by Riverton in that first half. And you're right, this game is going to come down to who can make the better adjustments in half number 2.
Oh, 100%. I mean, AF has started slow throughout the season, and they started slow today. They converted on their first possession. Their second possession they didn't, but what is mind-boggling to me is how few possessions we have had in this game. Both of these offenses, staying inside the field of play. We're not having much stoppage of clock, so there hasn't been much of an opportunity for AF to overwhelm Riverton, but Riverton has just done an excellent job of doing their job, keeping themselves within striking distance. So very excited to see what adjustments are made by the head coaches, and we'll see who comes up on top at the end of this game of this chess match.
It is a chess match here at the end of this first half. 24 minutes down, and we got 24 more to go. We got a good one bubbling here at American Fork tonight. Your score at the half is deadlock between American Fork and Riverton, 10-all at the break. Back with the second half after this halftime timeout on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of American Fork football. We'd like to remind you that next week we'll be on the road once again as Gavin Atkinson and I will travel to Juan Diego High School for the KSL Sports Rewind Game of the Week presented by UCCU as Manti faces off against Juan Diego in what could very well be 3A's Game of the Year. Coverage starts next week, Friday night at 7 p.m. on your home for the Game of the Week, Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And as we speak right now, checking the scores from around the state, currently no surprises to our eyes. It is Manti in front over Emory, 25-7 at halftime, and Juan Diego running away from South Summit already, 21-0, late there in the first quarter. But Gavin, we come back to this game between Riverton and American Fork, and we look at the score 10-10 right now here in this, as we get set to start the second half. Gavin, you have to be impressed by the physicality of the Riverton Silverwolves matching the American Fork Cavemen tit for tat in the first half.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, you talk about Riverton's physicality, you could dare say they've outplayed AF when it comes to the physicality. On all these tackles, they're getting 1 or 2 more yards, fighting for every yard. AF has done a great job at getting these big chunk plays, but it hasn't been their physicality that has gotten them to 10 points. Riverton, who came into this game as a pretty heavy underdog, has just completely said, okay, watch us play. This isn't a paper game, this isn't a simulation. We're gonna come, we're gonna punch you in the face, and we're gonna shock you. And that's what they have done. Their offense has been incredible to watch. Yes, they only have 10 points, but they've had multiple 5+ minute drives where you just sit here and you're like, how are they still going? And when you think they get pushed back far enough behind the stick, they find a way to extend the drive and convert the 3rd and long.
So, Gavin, we talked about before we went off the air for halftime that this is really going to be a chess match. I mean, Jim Freeland on one side for Riverton, they were in this situation against Ridgeline, tied at 14 at the half, ended up losing the game in overtime, and here we are again. They're tied going into the second half against American Fork, who, by the way, had to score 28 straight points to pull away from West late in the 3rd quarter of that one last week here at home. So what intrigues you the most about the chess match between Jim Freeland and Aaron Beam as we go into the second half?
Well, it's going to be the guy who did his homework. It's going to be the coach who learned from last week or the earlier season's mistakes. Historically, AF has been the better program, but Riverton has really shocked me in this game, kind of as we've talked, and they had that close one against Ridgeline, I believe. The 2 R's are screwing with my brain right now. But we'll see who learned their lesson, who took notes, who had the better practice after that week, who talked to their players and said, do your 111, do what you need to do to help us win. Very excited to see which team just is more disciplined, avoids the turnovers. It's going to come down to the nitty-gritty details, the ones that you focus on in practice. Very excited for this second half. as AS gets to start with this ball. We'll see if their offense makes any adjustments.
Right, they will get the ball to start the second half. That has to be a good feeling for the Cavemen fans here. Riverton has had the lead in this ball game. They led 3-0 early, but we are now tied for the first time here tonight. As once again, American Fork will get the kickoff to start the second half. Hope you're enjoying yourselves on this pleasant Friday night. Game time temperature was just about 86 degrees here at kickoff in American Fork. It's dropped down to the high 70s at 79 degrees. And it's expected to drop a little bit further as we head into the night.
And I tell you, Alex, we're reaching that time of year. It is football season. You got a little bit of chill in the air. Halloween's coming.
And Will Walker's kick will go into the end zone for a touchback, and David Gaisford. And the offense will come out to start first. We keep forgetting to remind people that our broadcasts here on the Rewind Sports Network are brought to you by the good folks at Heidemann and Associates, our sponsors of the Keys to the Game. They go above and beyond the call for the clients they serve. Call them today or contact them online to schedule your free consultation courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. A reminder, on behalf of Heidemann and Associates, we will be selecting a player of the game. The player who went above and beyond the call for his team in this game. Gaisford to throw on first down. Pass is caught by guess who? Wilkinson. And Wilkinson is brought down close to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play.
I believe that tackle was made by 22, Kyler Christensen. And the down marker down there is a little off. It isn't fourth down.
Yes. Yeah, it's second down, actually. A little bit ahead of the count there. Second down and 1.
There we go. I was a little confused.
Gaisford to throw on second down. Pressure coming. Throws. That's complete. Sitting in the zone and making the catch is Tayese. And he gets wrapped up, but not before he picks up a first down on a little hitch pattern for a gain of 4 yards. Again, American Fork was in this very self-same position last week at home against West. Down early and then scored 28 straight to finally put the Panthers away. And they'll be looking to do the same thing here tonight. Richards in motion. And now Gaisford will look to the sideline to get the signal from offensive coordinator Michael Hunsaker. Silverwolves show blitz. They bring extra. Handoff goes to Afu, and he goes nowhere. Maybe a yard on the play. Brought down by a host of white shirts. Led on the play that time by JoJo G, among others.
Yeah, not much there on that left side of the line. Riverton doing a great job at, as we talked about, playing physical football, fighting in the trenches, and doing their best to slow down this AF rushing offense.
Gaisford to throw on second down. Pressure coming from behind. Throws a duck into coverage. A lot of early contact, but no flag. I guess they suppose that Mine had a beat on the football, but was just not able to come up with it. It looked like he had a pretty clean look at it from here, and so it'll bring up third down and 9 here for AF.
Yeah, Cavemen fans wanted a flag right there, as it looked like he got there maybe half a second too early. Riverton, I do want to say, it was a great QB hurry, as coming on the blind side of David Gaisford, there was that end, and there he is again, almost getting there.
And then that throw is almost intercepted. Throwing it into a vacant lot that time was Gaisford in the direction of Cash Galloway. And after giving up a first down, Riverton forces a punt.
And once again, we saw on those last 2 plays that far defensive end does a great job of getting around the left tackle and getting pressure on the quarterback. Didn't get the sack, but it's not always about the sack. It's also about the quarterback hurries, forcing a bad throw or an inaccurate throw.
There's the punt, a sidewinder, fair catch. Signal for and made at the 29-yard line. And then we have late penalty flags that go down at the end of the play. 2 flags, in fact, go down, and so we'll see what happens. The fair catch signal had already been made.
Yeah, that one looked like a block behind the back by Riverton, as just a really big mistake, a lack of discipline there, just taking a cheap shot on the AF coverage team.
So we're going to see what the penalty is. It could also be a personal foul. See what the call is. And it is going to be a personal foul, so back it up half the distance. And like you said, Gavin, unfortunate timing on that mental mistake there for Riverton.
And we'll see how much it affects them. It does move the ball back, but it still will be 1st and 10. And this Riverton offense loves to get these first downs one at a time. They love to run this slow, methodical offense and eat a bunch of the clock.
5 wide receivers for Andrew Nielsen to throw on first down. Good protection. Pass over the middle. That is complete to Nielsen. And Nielsen gets a first down all the way up to the 30-yard line. He picked up 15 yards on that play.
Now, you love to see that little inside slant route, especially when they're bringing a blitz. They talk about throwing into the blitz, where that linebacker was, because nobody's going to be there. Does a great job there, gets the first down, plus a little more.
1st and 10 from the 29. Handoff goes to Christian. And Christian stumbles to about the 31-yard line, picked up about 2 yards on the play. If you're just joining us, that's actually downs on the carry. Alexander Timothy, Gavin Atkinson. American Fork punted on their first possession of the second half, and now Riverton has it. And they are now approaching midfield, and in just a couple of plays, they have 2nd and 8 from the 31. With 9 minutes left here in the third quarter, they scored to tie the game with about 10 seconds left in the first half. Double wide receivers in the set to the left side. Tailback is Christian in the pistol. And the handoff is to Christian up the middle. Christian breaking tackles. And he squirms forward to about the 36-yard line. Picked up about 5 yards. It'll make it 3rd and 4 here for the Silverwolves.
And one thing you notice about this Riverton offense is I don't think I've seen them run hurry up in this game. Every play or every down, they take that play clock down to about 7, 6, 5. They're really trying to waste a lot of this clock and use that time to their advantage to hold this AF offense in check.
Oh, big time pass drop there by Slack. Unfortunate error right there. Pass was on the money, but Slack not able to hold on. And it's 4th down, and now Riverton, after gaining a first down of their own, has to punt the football away.
Now in the first half, Alex, I believe we only saw one punt. And in the first few minutes of this second half, we're going to see two.
Well, we did kind of talk about how it might come down to the kicking game if it's a close game. And Will Walker's one of the best in Utah. This one not one of his better ones, off the side of his foot. And it bounces out of bounds. See where they mark it. They're going to mark it. Give them a pretty good spot. They're going to mark it at the 25. Okay, so they're going to mark it out of bounds about the 35. So a pretty good spot all told, keeping it away from Wilkinson. And the Riverton Silverwolves are going to put the defense back onto the field. Want to remind you, the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of high school football continues next week, Friday. Join Matt Colma and Moose Bingham for a rematch of one of Utah high school football's games of the year last year as the West Panthers meet the Alta Hawks. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Couple of great matchups next week on Rewind. West against Alta, Manti against Juan Diego. As the Cavemen get back to work, handoff goes up the middle to Jensen, and he gets absolutely plastered on the play. Nowhere to go that time. It was Kyler Christensen, the sophomore linebacker, who nailed him to the wall.
Yeah, great job by the linebacker, just meeting the running back right in the hole, bringing him down for no gain. Riverton has done an excellent job of keeping AF's rushing offense in check, forcing them to throw the ball, which we know they can do, but it's hard to be a one-dimensional team.
Here comes the pressure. Gaisford throws, long throw, caught Mine trying to make a man miss. He does. And he'll pick up the first down about the 45-yard line before a host of white shirts gang up on him right at the marker, led by Coleman Garn, but that's enough to move the sticks.
And it was a great job by Will Miney, just applying the brakes, just brake checking, making that defender run right past him to get those extra 2 yards to get that first down.
1st and 10 from the 46. Gaisford to throw once again. Pass. That is complete. Wide open is Dean. Dean inside the 10 and brought down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And there's the big play. Another 1st and goal here for AF on a pickup of 45 yards. That's the 5th play of over 20 plus for AF tonight.
You know, that was an excellent job by David Gaisford to read the offense or the defense pre-snap. He knew exactly where he wanted to throw that ball, got it up the seam, and then it was off to the races.
1st and goal from the 9. Gaisford to throw, throws, caught, touchdown, Jet Mina. Should take some of the pressure out of this AF crowd as Mina gets into the end zone and American Fork retakes the lead. What a drive by AF and what a great call drive by offensive coordinator Micah Hunsaker. Lewis Connect for the extra point. It is placed, it is kicked, and it is good. 17-10. American Fork with 6:52 left. Here in the 3rd quarter. Riverton had their chance, but American Fork threw the first punch. They're back in front here in the 3rd quarter. American Fork football, the Rewind Sports Network, is presented by Heidemann and Associates. American Fork back in front 17-10 with 6:51 to go here in this 3rd quarter. A touchdown pass from David Gaisford to Will Mina has put the Cavemen back on top. Lewis Connect kicks off, and it will be into the end zone, but returnable as it was brought out past the 1 by Xander Sayer, and then he gets clotheslined around the 16-yard line, and both players are down. Thankfully, they're both up. I mean, you don't see clotheslines very often anymore, but looked like Xander Sayer ran into some laundry over on the other side of the neighborhood.
And I mean, Alex, right there, you saw a little bit of a hit stick right there. Maybe flipping up on the right side of the controller. Big old hit.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
As long as both players are healthy.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
I mean, it is, you know, pretty big.
I guess. Nielsen taken down again. Afu with his 2nd sack of the game, 4th sack of the night for this American Fork defense.
And we're already starting to see some of these adjustments from halftime come in. You know, Riverton did a good job at stopping AF's offense that first possession, but AF has done a great job of getting pressure, which is hard to do against this Riverton offense because they get rid of the ball so quick.
Nielsen to throw. Penalty flag goes down. Now he takes off, and Nielsen is hit out of bounds. No flag. At around the 24-yard line, and where the yellow hanky is tossed, I suspect this is coming back.
And man, if you're Riverton right there, you hate to see your quarterback take that hit. I mean, it shows toughness, but especially when you know this play's coming back, you hate to see him take that extra hard hit.
So it'll make it 2nd down and Sanaquit. 2nd down at about the distance to Orem from about the 7-yard line. Now 6 minutes to go. 2nd and long here for the Silverwolves. Trying to respond after giving up the touchdown. Nielsen brings a man in motion. And he gives it to him on the fly sweep. Bennett Nielsen to the right side. Breaks a couple of tackles. And it gets upended as he gets to about, call it maybe close to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd and long here for Riverton, but we've already seen them convert a 3rd and long earlier in this game.
And we'll see what they do right here. I mean, AF's defense has done a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback. So these routes are going to have to develop pretty quickly, depending on which way AF plays it. If they play coverage, maybe they get a coverage sack. Very interested to see what this team runs.
They blitz, they pick it up, throw down the middle, and incomplete, just out of the reach of Bennett Nielsen. And 4th down, and Riverton will have to punt the football yet another time. As we are speeding past this 3rd quarter here, 5 minutes and 14 seconds already left. This game has gone by super quick here tonight. Walker's punt, and this is a shank off the side of his foot, and this is going to go out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
What great field position for AF. They have to capitalize on this from that gift of a punt. They did a great job at getting pressure. That punter had to kick it higher. It would have been blocked.
I have to check the numbers here. That actually is not Walker kicking back there. That's actually Seth Glover doing the punting. So 1st and 10 AF on the 23-yard line, and they have a chance to really put the foot on the gas here. They line up in the ace backfield, fake the handoff, and Gaisfer to throws. That is complete. Wilkinson makes a man miss, gets to the sideline, and finally gets hogtied with his knees down and around the 21-yard line. Gain about maybe 3 on the play.
Really shifty move made right there. Juke him out of his shoes. If I was down on that field, my knees would be 20 yards in the opposite direction. Really impressive with how shifty this kid is.
You're talking about your knees are 20 yards downfield? My knees would have to walk 100 yards downfield. 1st, 2nd, and 7. Gaisfer to throw. Throwing. Wheel route. Caught! And line is out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Perfectly executed route there. And it'll set up another 1st and goal here for AF.
Now AF really starting to take control of this game. We'll see if they can convert. Riverton really need to come up with a win right here. Maybe force a field goal. Keep them out of the end zone, as AF seems to have figured them out on offense.
4 minutes and 21 seconds officially left here on the clock in the 3rd quarter. 17-10 AF. Look at a step on the gas. Gaisfer with Afu to his right. Gives to Afu. He bulls forward, and he is short of the end zone by about a half a hot dog bun, and so it'll be 2nd and goal. Haven't called a lot of the running backs' names tonight, Prince Afu and Madden Jensen.
I'm very excited to see if they stick with it. We saw their last red zone possession, or 2 before, end up failing, or I should say failing. They got the field goal, but they went for the 3 pass attempts, weren't able to convert.
Here's Afu again, and he still didn't get in. Looked like the ball might have broken the plane for about a half a beat, but they kept him back out of the end zone. Great play there by Exodus Afatasi to keep him out. And now it's going to be 3rd down, and now offensive coordinator Noah Hunsaker is going to bring in the big boys. T formation here with Broadbent, Afu, and Prince Afu. They hand of Broadbent. He goes left side, trying to back his way in. And he is short again. And meanwhile, a helmet pops off. That's JoJo G.
Man.
And now, and yeah. Noah Hunsaker's just going to play it safe. Sorry, Gavin. And they're going to bring on the field goal unit led by Noah's Connect.
Man, I just want to talk about how Riverton did a great job recognizing that play. They saw that T formation earlier in this game, and it was the exact same run. Give it to Broadbank, try and punch it through. It worked last time, but it did not work this time.
So now here is Lewis Connect. He's already made one field goal tonight. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick, no problem for the UVU soccer commit. And so with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left here in the third quarter, American Fork able to only get 3 out of that good field position. Riverton gets the stop on defense. Well, check out that student section down there. Gavin Atkinson wearing camo tonight here at American Fork High School. Alexander Zimmerman, Gavin Atkinson, 20-10. American Fork with 10 unanswered points has taken a 10-point lead. It still remains a 2-score game as Lewis Connect kicks off and kicks this one right through the back of the end zone, just wide of the right up lane. And so now this will bring out Riverton's offense. And this is a big possession here for both teams, Gavin. I'm looking at you. I know it's a big possession for Riverton, but this is a big possession for AF's defense because you've got to figure out a way to slow down this Riverton spread offense.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, for Riverton, you know, they've got plenty of time, but the way their offense runs, you know, successfully, it's going to take some time. So you've got to make something out of this possession.
Here is Christian right side, and he'll steamroll his way forward for a couple. We haven't heard his name called a lot here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, right there, not much. You get the 2 yards, but Riverton really struggling to run the ball in this second half.
Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 10 straight points by AF. They lead now 20-10. Trying to lean on their defense here for the final quarter and a half. Nielsen pulls it down. Going to have a lot of room to run. He gets clobbered as he gets across the right side of the formation. That is Justin Bourgeois, who is in there as a free safety, but he can also rotate into that nickelback position, what I call the spear. And this will bring up a big third down here for this Riverton offense, more so for this AF defense.
Great job by Andrew Nielsen, you know, throwing that pump fake, getting the defender in the air, and then just running right past him.
And look at this now, the I formation. Again, Christian dots the I on 3rd and 2. Misdirection handoff goes right side, and he is not going to get it. Luke Broadbent got him from behind. That's actually Downs who got him. And once again, Riverton is going to be forced to kick it away. And another big stop by this AF defense.
And you're really counting on your punter to flip the field right here if you're Riverton. Give your defense, you know, they came up with a win on that last possession, making them kick a field goal. But you really got to help them out. Get a good punt on the special teams.
Cannon Brinton going to kick it away. And this time it is a very good punt. And it's going to take a Riverton bounce. I mean, you talk about flipping the field, Gavin Atkinson, right on cue, buddy. That punt is going to die at the 19-yard line. That is a 51-yard punt by Brinton. And so American Fork will be forced to start from deep in their own territory. We'd like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of American Fork football is presented by Heidemann and Associates. Call them today at 801-754-4240. Contact them online at utah.law for your free consultation, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. And don't forget, Gavin and I will be selecting a Heidemann and Associates player of the game following tonight's game for going above and beyond the call, much like Heidemann and Associates goes above and beyond the call for every client they serve. From the shotgun, Gaisford hands off on the sweep to the near side to Jensen. Penalty flag goes down as Jensen is ganged up on for a first down, but where the yellow hanky is tossed, we can already see the signal being made by the line judge. It is coming back.
And you know, Alex, this is going to be one of the biggest possessions for Riverton's defense. Josh Hart, defensive coordinator, or excuse me, Josh Holtz, defensive coordinator for Riverton, really needs his defense to come up with a big stop right here. You know, AF can take full control of this game if they can score on this drive. Riverton needs to keep their offense in the game. They need to keep within striking distance and hope they can figure out that offensive side of the ball during this possession while they're out there.
16 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll see if Gaisford wants to run one more play. They will. It's a handoff to the left side to Jensen. And Jensen fumbled the football! The ball is out, and it looks like the white shirts jumped on top of it. And Riverton has the football! Christensen ripped it out and recovered his own fumble. And right on cue, Josh Holt's defense does get the big play they needed.
And I mean, talk about coming big. Going back to our keys to the game at the beginning, Riverton had to force turnovers, and boy, was that a timely one. Getting it in their own end zone, or own side of the 20. Now you're in the red zone, 15 yards to go, and this is a 3-point game going into the fourth. 3.5 seconds left in the third. Man, I can't even capture the magnitude of that play.
First and 10 for the 15. Nielsen going to take a shot. Rolls to his right. Rolling. Still looking downfield. Now throws, and it's almost picked off. As the quarter comes to a close, as Nielsen almost gave it right back, but that will take us to the final 12 minutes.
Man, and I tell you, Alex, he almost made the cardinal mistake. Every quarterback learns very early on in their career, you do not throw across your body late in the play. You never see that extra defender running with you. Almost gave up that almost made that turnover, pointless. Gave it back to AF.
We'll be back after this word from Mountain Land Truck Outfitters to start the fourth quarter. Riverton threatening to make this interesting. Well, welcome back in, everybody. Alexander Timop alongside Gavin Atkinson. Glad you could join us for the start of the fourth quarter. Riverton gave up 10 straight points, but they have turned American Fork over. The first turnover of the game on a fumble by Madden Jensen, and it was a big one. On 2nd and 10 now. Throw, that is complete. And getting out of bounds is Slack at about the 8-yard line. It'll make it 3rd down and 2 here for Riverton.
Slack just does a great job running that 5-10 yard out route. And then I want to call some attention to that offensive line for Riverton. Does a great job at picking up the extra pressure AF bring on that play, giving his quarterback enough time to make that throw, bringing up this 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 2. Christian to throw to the end zone and out of the hands and incomplete to Slack. Beckham Reese was draped on him like flypaper. It is 4th down, and head coach Jim Freeland, I don't think there's any hesitation here. Gavin, you have to send the field goal unit out because you have to get 3 points out of this.
Oh, 100%. You can't let that turnover be pointless. You can't give up those points, especially in a 10-point game. Kick the field goal. You're going to need one anyway to tie it. Get that now. Get the touchdown later.
Low snap. Walker gets it off, though, and the kick is good. And so, with 11:47 left to play here in the fourth quarter, Riverton able to get 3 out of that fumble by Madden Jensen. And that makes it a one-possession game again with 11 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Alexander Timolip alongside my broadcast partner, Gavin Atkinson. We're glad you joined us on this pleasant Friday night. Josh Dodge operating the camera for us tonight. And we also want to welcome those of you who may be tuning in on the Red Zone on KSLSports.com, the KSL Plus app, and of course on 97.5 FM and 1280 AM, the KSL Sports Zone. We want to welcome in those viewers who are watching our stream around the world tonight. We hope this broadcast finds you well. 20-13, American Fork leads Riverton. fumble by Madden Jensen, first turnover of the game. Will Walker converts with the field goal, and we're now in a one-possession game once more, as Walker boots this baby straight through the back of the end zone and out the back for a touchback. And now Gavin Atkinson, this possession becomes a whole lot more magnified if you're David Gaisford in this American Fork offense.
Oh, 100%. That field goal and that turnover that was forced on the last possession, or the field goal that came from the first turnover on that last possession, changed this game dramatically. Micah Hunsaker's offense needs to find a way to have a decent drive and capitalize on it. Hopefully take some time off the clock, make the clock Riverton's enemy, but you've got to hold on to the ball. You've got to secure the ball.
Afu goes into the backfield. Handoff goes to him, and he gets about maybe 3 off the left side. Well, for those that are just joining us, missed it here in the second half, it's been a good one. American Fork scored the first 10, but then just when it seemed like they were putting the foot on the gas, Madden Jensen fumbled the football on a strip by Kyler Christensen, and Will Walker turned that into 3 points, and here we are in a one-possession game with 11:18 and running left here in regulation. Afu again left side, and again not much room as he gets brought down after a pickup of maybe 4. And now this brings up, Gavin, one of the biggest third downs of the night here for American Fork's offense.
I mean, exactly. It's 3rd and short. You hope you can get this, but with the way this game has played, both teams have struggled on the offensive line to get some penetration, to make some running lanes for their backs. So we'll see what AF does right here.
It's a pass. Throw is caught by Edwards, and he barely gets the first down. I mean, he got it by about a yard. But a good call by Michael Hunsaker nonetheless, knowing that Riverton was going to sell out on the run, and that's a big big third down conversion for AF.
It keeps that clock ticking. We're still at 10 minutes, so there's a ton of time left. But any time you can shave off now will help you later in the game.
Tayese goes in motion, creating a stack to the left side. Afu remains in the backfield. Pressure coming on Gase for throw. That is complete. That's Maida. Stiff arms a man. Gets a block down the sideline. And finally chopped out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Okay.
Joe G tried to knock him out of bounds, but Maida said, "You're too small."
Okay, Will Mina, I see you looking a little Derrick Henry-ish out there with that stiff arm. Gets those extra yards. You love to see it. Just some physical football. Saying, I'm stronger than you. Try and stop me.
From the 41 of Riverton, 1st and 10. 4 men on the rush. They pick it up. Gaisford gets out of the pocket. 1 flag, 2 flags go down as Gaisford gets the first down. He gets shoved out of bounds. And now a beanbag goes down. So after all of that, we're going to have a holding, a late hit, and then we're going to do first down again.
Man, I mean, Saxon Gailey, the left tackle for American Fork right there, pretty egregious hold right there. More of a tackle from behind on the defensive end. You saw the late push. They did not like that.
Yeah,
that hold.
We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of those borderline horse collar grab the shirt, whatever you can tackles here tonight on both sides of the line. So we know at least there's going to be a holding, and we know there's going to be a personal foul. The matter of which is how this is going to offset.
And this is where both coaches need to tell their guys, you got to keep your composure. Often in these one-possession games, it comes down to who is more disciplined, who doesn't make the dumb, emotional mistake where, yeah, they're getting under your skin, but you've got to prove you're the better team on the field. You can't just push them.
So after all of that, it's going to be 1st and 5 for the American Fork offense because of the penalty on the late hit. Yeah, I really wouldn't say, I think a better way to put it, Gavin, would be an untimely, unforced error in those situations. Definitely an unfortunate scenario as our white hat going over to talk to head coach Jim Freeland and explain why it's 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10.
And I mean, I understand you're trying to say, hey, you're not going to walk all over us. You're not going to do that to my guy. But
at some point, you have to stand up.
Exactly. But if you don't have that extra push, you're looking at a 1st and 20.
Right.
So,
and that's a big difference.
Chess match being played right here.
1st and 5 after the offsetting penalties. Gaisford to throws, that's complete, sitting in the zone, making the catch is Bida, and he gets popped by G at about the 25-yard line, but not before he picks up another first down. And it seems that Gaisford's favorite target is number 7 over the last few minutes. Running under 10 minutes now here in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes left in regulation. Alexander Tabulip alongside Gavin Atkinson. What's turned out to be a good one here tonight. From the 25, Gaisford, play action, good protection, throws for Maida, touchdown! His second touchdown of this game, and his second here in the second half. And for the first time tonight, American Fork has some breathing space.
And man, I just loved that play call. You get Mina on a deep post route. He frees himself up, gets the space from his defensive back. And then there was no help. It was a one-on-one matchup. Greatly placed ball. Gets the touchdown.
Lewis Connect adds on the extra point. And it makes it 27-13 in favor of American Fork now with 9:29 to go. Cavemen have some breathing space early here in the fourth. What a response by head coach Aaron Beam and American Fork. They lead now by 2 scores once again, 27-13. They've now outscored Riverton in this second half, 17-3. And what has turned out to be a physical battle here tonight between these two squads. Credit Riverton. This has been a very well-played game on both sides here tonight. As Connect bangs this one down towards the goal line, it will go into the end zone for a touchback. And that will bring out this Riverton offense to the 20-yard line. Good time to remind you the Rewind Sports Network will continue our coverage of high school football next week Friday. Reminder that Gavin Atkinson and I will be heading to Juan Diego. Join us from John Colissimo Field at Soaring Eagle Stadium for the game of the week between the Manti Templars and the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Coverage starts next Friday at 7 p.m. 1st and 10 for Andrew Nielsen and co. Trying to once again answer the call. From the gun, looking to throws the little hitch pattern. That's complete to Slack, breaking tackles. And Slack is brought down after a pickup of about 9 yards on the play.
And I tell you, Alex, the pressure is on for Riverton's offense. Brian Anderson needs to find a way to kickstart this offense, who has been just about showless in this second half. The only 3 points coming from the defensive turnover, the fumble.
Nielsen to throw on second down. Pass is caught. That's Christian running out of the backfield of that 5-wide set. And quickly, Riverton close to midfield. And we still have 8:46 left to go here in this ball game. So still 2 scores. So, try as they might, the Riverton Silverwolves have. They've hung around for the good majority of this ball game. And that's something I think you have to give head coach Jim Freeland and this crew a lot of credit for hanging in there with this Region 3 power. Nielsen sprints out to his right, got plenty of room out to this right side. He's going to take off and run, makes a man miss, and then gets chopped down near the 40-yard line. And just like that, 3 plays, and Riverton into AF territory with 8:20 to go here in the fourth.
Beckham Rees got that kind of shoelace tackle thing, got just a piece of him. But he was able to dive for a couple extra yards. Love to see the improv coming from the quarterback as nothing was there. Just start running it.
Low snap. Nielsen able to handle it. Good protection. Gonna throw it up there for Slack. He drops it straight off his fingertips. Oh my. He had a step, but just couldn't haul it in for his second touchdown of the game.
Man, that one's going to hurt, especially if they end up losing this one. You know, he had it, and it would have been a tough catch, but it was catchable. That's going to be one he'll be thinking about for the next little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they go right back to him on the next time he's out there on the field.
He's very proven.
Very. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Christian, left side, gets behind the stack. He'll pick up about maybe 5 yards as we run under 8 minutes now here in the fourth quarter. And it's 2-down territory here for Riverton. Trying to stay alive here with 7:45 to go here in this ball game. They've been able to answer the bell quite a few times tonight, this Riverton team. Can they do it one more time and pick up another first down? Triple wide receiver lines up to the left. High snap. Nielsen able to handle it. Looks and throws into double coverage, and it's nearly picked. Intended on the play for Bennett Nielsen. And it's going to bring a 4th down as Michaelis and Bourgeois were over there. And obviously 4th down and a long ways to go. And Riverton going to go for it.
And this could be the game right there. They almost... That interception could have sealed it. I mean, still a lot of time, but a 2-possession game would have made it really hard to come back. Really lucky that pick was dropped. We'll see what they could do on this fourth and medium, manageable. Looks like they'll start with the timeout.
Yep, and they're going to take a timeout to talk it over, and we will take one with them as well. Riverton has been hanging around all night, trying to stay alive for one last gasp here on 4th down when we come back. Final 7:22 of this fourth quarter about to commence. Alexander Tomopo alongside Gavin Atkinson here in a game that has been physical and flying along here tonight at the foot of the Wasatch Front. 4th and 6 from the 38-yard line for Riverton. They show blitz. They bring 4. Nielsen steps out of trouble, gets away from the pressure, gonna tuck it and run, and gets the first down, and then some, and finally is brought down at the 21-yard line, and so the improv works out again, and once again, Gavin, Riverton answers the bell.
Pulling the rabbit out of the hat, that was just incredible. You know, every time you think he's about to get sacked, he finds a way to maneuver his way through the defense and converts on that key 4th down.
So, we're going to have another flag, and this is going to be an they're going to call it a false start for a snap infraction against Riverton, and boy, not what you want here in this situation.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. Just a unforced error. Maybe trying to get the defense to jump. Didn't work there, but once again, Riverton really starting to get things going.
Dane Slack has the only touchdown of the night for Riverton, and with 6:44 to go, we're not quite done just yet. The fireworks may just be starting. Nielsen to throw on first down and long. Looking, steps up in the pocket, throws, that's complete. There's Slack again. And he has a first down inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. And Riverton's going to have 4 downs with 6:31 to go to stay alive.
And you called it earlier, Alex. Dane Slack once again coming big. But Andrew Nielsen stepping up in the pocket. He seems unfazed by that pressure AF is bringing.
Nielsen has AF running, throws for the fade route, end zone, incomplete, a lot of contact, and penalty flags fly all over the place as Slack was the intended receiver, and Gunnar Michaelis comes away saying, who, what, me? But it looked like he had a pretty good hold of the shirt. That's going to make it 1st and goal at the 5 for Riverton.
It is so hard to play defense, be a corner, especially on that fade route. You know, what are you supposed to do? You got to keep tabs on the receiver, but you've also got to turn your head around, make a play on the football. truly one of the hardest things to do in football, in my opinion.
4 downs to get 4 yards and 6 for the Riverton Silverwolves. Time not on their side, but they get in the end zone. We could have an interesting finish set up here. 1st and goal from the 4. Nielsen, sprint out to his right, sees the grass, gonna take off, and gets into the end zone! And Riverton is not dead quite just yet!
And he has just been absolutely electric on this drive. Sees the Red Sea open up, runs right through, gets the 6 points, makes this a 1-possession game.
We told you that the fireworks might just be starting, and here we go with 6:06 to go. Will Walker for a big extra point. It is up, and it is good. And with 6:06 to go here in regulation, Riverton has made this once again a 1-possession game. We'd like to remind you once again that at the conclusion of tonight's game, Gavin and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game. Committed to serving you, the client, going above and beyond the call. And we're going to select a player that has gone above and beyond the call for his team here tonight. And Gavin Atkinson, right now, if Riverton's able to come back and at least force overtime or maybe get a chance to win the game, it could very well be Andrew Nielsen, the way he just went right down the field and got into the end zone on that last drive.
Oh, 100%, Alex. He was a leader right there, leading his team. They struggled coming out of the gates to start this second half, to get some offense going. Just kind of sputtered a little bit, but they did what they needed to when it mattered. They went down the length of the field, mostly through his legs and through his improvisation. Really impressed with how this kid has played. Now we'll see if the defense can come up with another big stop.
Will Walker's kickoff will go right through the back of the end zone. Cavemen were playing for the onside kick, but still with 6 minutes and 3 timeouts left, or 2 timeouts left for Riverton, not even thinking about onside kick at this point. And so David Gaisford, who threw the touchdown to Will Mina on that last possession, will now come back onto the field, and we'll see what the strategy is here as far as the timeouts are concerned from head coach Jim Freeland. 6:06 left in regulation. American Fork being pushed to the brink tonight by this Riverton Silverwolves team, as Riverton looking to get one last big stop to give them one more chance. Here is a handoff left side. This is Jensen. And Jensen gets about maybe 5 yards to start the drive. Brought down on the play by Christensen and others, as we're under 6 minutes to go.
And it's a careful balance, Alex, between running the ball and trying to run off the clock, but you're not to the point where you can take your foot off the gas. You have to keep this offense going in order to, put those final nails in the coffin, because as you said, Riverton is not out. They are very much in this game.
Play clock running inside of 10. Gaisford just going to let it go all the way down. He snaps it, hands it off. This is Jensen, squeezes through a crack, and that's a big first down as he gets to about the 33-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains. It's a pickup of 8.
And I got to show some love to my big offensive lineman on AF right there. Saxon Gailey and McKay Christensen right there, 66 and 78, able to create that hole for him to squeeze on through, get those extra yards.
And how about the trust offensive coordinator Noah Hunsaker has in his running back Jensen after he fumbled it earlier in this half. Handoff again to Jensen. Gets a block going right side this time, and he gets popped out of bounds, close to another first down. He gets to about the 43-yard line. That's another pickup of 10 and another first down for AF.
And the only thing that would have made that play more ideal is if he was able to stay in bounds and keep that clock ticking. That is the one silver lining for Riverton on that play, is the clock has stopped. And you've got a new, fresh set of downs. You got to do it again. You got to try and force them off the field, but they can't waste more time.
Clock goes. Jensen the handoff. You see Riverton selling out to stop the run as Jensen is brought down after a pickup of about maybe 3 yards. We're going to hit the 4-minute mark on this next play. Riverton, by the way, still has 2 timeouts. There is no 2-minute warning as there is in college football and in the pros and other spring leagues. There's no 2-minute warning, so you have to think at some point under the 2-minute mark, or maybe past this mark, Riverton might start thinking about using those timeouts. 2nd down. Jensen again tests the right side, and this time he gets nailed by Christensen immediately after he gained maybe 2 yards. And now, this is an interesting 3rd down here with 4 minutes to go, because do you run the ball or do you potentially try to throw it?
You know, it's a dilemma, because if you run the ball and you don't get it, you're giving up the ball. But if you throw it and throw an incompletion, the clock stops.
Quick snap. Afu gets the handoff, and he is going to be short by about a yard. Oh, boy. Gavin, now what do you do if you're offensive coordinator Michael Hunsaker? Because you already went for it on 4th down earlier in this game, but you were stopped.
Man, this is truly, once again, one of the biggest dilemmas in this football game. You know, you go for it, you have the chance to continue to keep the pressure, but if you punt it, trust your defense, maybe they come up with a stop. It looks like they're going for it.
Here they go. Handoff Afu, and this is going to be close. Did he get there? One judge came in, he said he did. The other one said he didn't. Who's right? Where is this measurement? They're looking. This is really close. Riverton has got it! No measurement needed!
That is absolutely electric, Alex. The way this defense was able to stand tall, come up big with 3 minutes left, they could very well send this game to overtime. Offense needs to continue to step up. Got to come up big, but man, the defense did their job, and I am just awestruck by that stand from Riverton.
1st and 10 from the 46. Nielsen to throw, flares it. Christian makes a man miss, makes 2 men miss, and he gets down to the 44-yard line. Riverton still has 2 timeouts, but the clock clearly here on their side with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left to go. What a finish we are in for here. Nielsen, good protection. 1st down, slack, out of bounds, and he'll stop the clock with 2:26 to go.
And I tell you, Alex, that is an excellent play call. You know, throwing that out route, you get the 1st down and you stop the clock. You keep your options open. You save some time. You save your timeouts. Just about everything you could want on that play.
Nielsen to throw again. Pass! Oh, the receiver fell down and was almost picked off. A hard-charging Ocean Bishop could have got his hand on it if it were not for the receiver slack falling down. 2nd and 10. Nervous moments here at AF. And we should point out, before that 4th down, the American Fork student section was chanting, "Start the buses." They may want to wait for a few extra minutes. Nielsen stepping up, gets out of the pocket, and he'll go down. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jim Freeland will not use his timeouts quite just yet. It'll bring up another 3rd down here.
Great job by AF, not losing track of the quarterback there. You know, we've seen Nielsen improvise throughout this half. Good job mitigating that, getting the sack.
3rd down and 10. 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. Riverton trying to force overtime at the very least. Nielsen runs it. He's going to get about maybe 4. Saw nothing downfield, instead goes on his own. And Jim Freeland is going to burn the first of his 2 timeouts with 1 minute and 37 seconds left in regulation time. And we will take one with them as well to build the drama. American Fork, Riverton coming down to one last play. 4th down coming up for the Silverwolves. Let the drama build. 1 minute, 37 seconds left here in the game. Alexander Smollett, Gavin Atkinson for American Fork Football, presented by Heidemann and Associates. 4th and 7. Andrew Nielsen, 5 wide. This is your ball game. 4 men on the rush. Nielsen fires off the hands of Nielsen and incomplete. Nielsen was open. Andrew Nielsen couldn't get it to him. And AF is going to survive.
Man, and that one is going to sting because he was open. He may have gotten a little excited, overthrew that one, and oh, what a tough way for this one to end.
But Gavin, you have to say, what a valiant effort by the Riverton Silverwolves.
Very impressive game. You know, I can't believe how lucky I am to watch these guys show off their talents. They leave it all on the field, and at the very least, Riverton can say on the bus ride home, hey, I gave it my all. We'll come back next week stronger.
As Gaisford's going to take a timeout there. As Gaisford's going to take a timeout, Aaron Beam's not happy with that. There's going to be a delay of game, actually, but it's not really going to matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Riverton is down to 1 timeout, but I sincerely doubt Jim Freeland is going to use it. As Gaisford will take a knee, and we will start the clock running.
Looks like they will actually use that timeout.
Yeah, they might as well. I mean, you're not going to take it with you, but at the very least, you're going to have about maybe one chance, maybe on something crazy if it happens.
You know, barring anything like we saw Miami do last year, this game's just about over. Holding hope for that, but I do not see AF running this football.
But let's get back for the moment here to Riverton while we have a chance. I mean, a lot of people are going to look at this score, and they're going to look at this game, this film here tonight, and I think people are going to see a very, very different Riverton team than last year. I mean, sure, they're 1-3 now, barring anything crazy here at the end of this game, but you have to say, in almost every game, Gavin, they have been in it until the end.
Oh, 100%. Even when people thought they were counts out, even when I thought they were not in this game, they're able to claw back. They are such a physical team, and I'm really excited to see what they do throughout the rest of this season, really improving as, you know, this program starts to get on its feet. I love to see it.
So American Fork actually going to back out of the victory formation and just try to run it into the stack. Because why not? No more timeouts. Here's Afu going to the left, puts 2 hands on the ball. And with this next play, we will be under 1 minute to go. And so, I mean, maybe Riverton is going to get the ball with maybe 10 or 11 seconds left, but it's going to be really hard to try and pull off a dozen laterals and try to get in the end zone here at this point in the game.
I mean, stranger things have happened.
Right,
it would
exactly.
be incredibly tough, but man, I just, the grit of this Riverton team has really impressed me tonight. I'm excited to see them next week. See if maybe some team overlooks them, sees their 1-3 schedule, and they are better than 1-3. That record does not describe them.
So let's talk about AF here for a second. We know AF is going to play in a really, really difficult region. What do you think this result says about them tonight and the way their defense, not their offense, was able to hold firm near the end?
Oh, I mean, their defense came up big when it needed to. I was very impressed and very intrigued at the beginning of this game to see if they could step up. You know, when you think American Fork football, you think their offense, that high-powered offense, scoring a lot of points, and we saw they struggled against Corner Canyon. I mean, their offense did their job. They got 5 passing touchdowns in that game, but they still lost by double digits, and it's just because that defense wasn't able to make plays when we need it. This game tells me that American Fork is making some strides on that defense, and that could help them a lot later in this year.
Yeah, especially in a year where they're going to be facing some great teams in Region 3 like Lone Peak and Sky Ridge. And they're also going to be facing dangerous teams like Pleasant Grove as well and Lehigh as well. So handoff goes to Afu. Again, puts 2 hands on the football. And that's going to do it because it looks like the game clock is just about even with the play clock, so I don't think anybody needs to really run another play. And we'll see what happens here. It looks like, yeah, it looks like this game is over. They're not going to run, nobody's going to run another play, as the American Fork Cavemen are going to survive by the skin of their teeth here tonight against a very game Riverton squad.
Yeah, I mean, both teams just have to be so proud of how they played. I mean, Riverton's going to be bummed that they didn't come out with this one. They weren't able to make the plays when they needed to. But they're taking steps forward. You know, oftentimes you hear it'll be talked about when you're building a program back up. You got to take it one step at a time. You don't see very many teams just jump into greatness. You have to start to be great, and this team is growing a lot. I also don't want to forget about AF because, you know, as we touched on, they made the plays when they needed to. They won this football game, and I mean, I'm just so impressed with the grittiness of both teams.
So we'll take one final break and be back with our final thoughts and our selection for Heidemann Associates Player of the Game. Final score, American Fork holds off Riverton 27-20 here tonight. I'd like to thank UCCU for their sponsorship of tonight's game, and we also like to thank them for the sponsorship of the Game of the Week, which will be live from Juan Diego next week. Join me and Gavin for that as the Templars take on the Soaring Eagle. Templars of Manta, I should say, take on the Soaring Eagle of Juan Diego. Final score here tonight, American Fork defeats Riverton 27-20. And Gavin, I turn to you now and say, what a game this was, and what a fight, what a battle this was between these two teams here tonight. But like we said, a lot of credit goes to Riverton for the way they clawed and scratched and fought their way back into this game. But when you look at the numbers, it all comes down to it. There was only 1 turnover in the game. Riverton only able to get 3 points off of it, and that proved to be the final difference here tonight.
100%. I mean, that turnover was what Riverton needed to really get back into the game and get themselves in a really great spot. But they just weren't able to convert off of those points. Only 3 points off of that turnover, and oh man, you're gonna wish that was a touchdown.
Right, and they're right, and also heartbreaking also for Bennett Nielsen, the drop on 4th down. Andrew Nielsen had him wide open over the middle, and Bennett Nielsen could not come up with it on 4th down. A tough one to swallow for Riverton, but definitely something to build on going towards the future. Timeout for our Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game. And tonight we're going with co-players of the game because, you know, we can't just leave it with American Fork. I mean, American Fork, we're going with Dallin Afu, 2 sacks of the 4 on the night for AF. But for Riverton, I mean, Andrew Nielsen, I mean, that kid was a stud on the field tonight, almost single-handedly getting Riverton to force overtime in this game. Both deserving of our co-players of the game awards.
Oh, 100%. Just starting with Dallin Afu, the way he was able to affect not only with those 2 sacks, but the quarterback hurries, and then opening up some of his other defensive players to get some pressure on the quarterback. But then back to Andrew Nielsen, I could not be more impressed with this kid. You know, the grit that he has, I keep on saying it, the way he's able to dodge sacks, to break tackles. I just think back to that one play where I was looking down at my spotting boards to figure out who came up with the sack, and there he is running down the field. It resulted in an incompletion, but, man, this kid is talented and a magician of the football field.
So, Gavin, now our attention turns to next week and the game of the week presented by UCCU. We get to be at Juan Diego again. Dane Stewart was told by head coach Danny Larson down at Juan Diego we would be back. Guess what? We're coming back, and what a matchup it's going to be next week to see that ground and pound Veer offense go up against the air raid style of the Manti Templars.
Oh, 100%, Alex. And I mean, the only sad thing about it is that it's 7 days away.
Right.
You know, I cannot wait to see which offensive style wins. I love to watch Juan Diego run with their fullback dives and the way they just control the football. It will be very interesting to see who wins that one. I cannot wait.
It's going to be a very difficult test for the Manti Templars, the defending 3A champs, going into enemy territory. But Gavin, tonight, that was really, really fun. And guess what? We get to do it all again. And next week, we get to be at the game of the week. I can't wait for that.
100%.
Thank you, Gavin Atkinson, for joining me on Color tonight. Thank you also to Josh Dodge for being on camera. Yes, folks, we will be at the game of the week next week between Manti and Juan Diego, presented by UCCU. Until then, we bid you farewell and aloha from Utah and say good night from the Rewind Sports Network and all of our crew. Our final score, once again, American Fork 27, Riverton 20. We'll see you next Friday at the game of the week presented by UCCU. And remember, Appalachian High School down in Georgia, from one state to another, we're thinking about you, and we commit to being there for you. And once again, folks, take care of one another. Good night. We'll see you next week.